everybody, welcome back to another episode of Playing with Palettes. It is a pleasure to have you here today. I'm so excited that you're able to join me for another episode where we get to build something great, hopefully, all that good stuff. If you find yourself coming back, or if you're really enjoying these series and videos, you should try subscribing. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I try to make some good videos for you guys. We try. I like to think they're pretty okay. Anyways, but yeah, if you're enjoying this video, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. But we're just going to get right into it, so let's go. Alright, my homies, here we are, blockpalettes.com. We got 1,287 pages. I hate how this is here now. I don't know why this started showing up, but whatever. Okay. Anyways, we are going to page number 609 today, and we will be doing palette number 2. Yay! Okay, I'm off. Alright. Page 609. I have to double check because my brain is bad at remembering. So yeah, okay. Page 609, and for everyone who can't count, we're going to go 1 and 2. Cool. I'm digging this, I think. O-tray. What the heck is O-tray? Anyways, okay, sorry. Okay, yeah, we're gonna work with this, okay. Alright, we got the stuff. We got the sandstone, the sand, the O-tray, which is a made-up word. Oh my gosh, packed mud, mud bricks, and mud. O-tray, come on. That is not a real word, people. That is not a real word. O-tray, come on. Just say it. It's like orange. Come on. Come on, people. Come on. Really? Really? We don't need to be doing that. Making up words here. Come on. Going into this build, I definitely thought, you know what? Let's do a sandcastle because there's sand, which is a great idea, you know? I know, it's brilliant. It's groundbreaking. You never would have thought about it. I know, it's amazing. It truly is. But I wanted to do something a little different in the way I didn't want like a cool sandcastle. Like there's definitely like cool things you can do out there in Minecraft. Like you can make like an actual castle made out of sand. But I was sitting there thinking like, nah, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna make a sandcastle in real life. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't a professional sandcastle builder person. You know, like those like sand sculptures that people make and spend hours on. Yeah, I ain't like that at all. I do not have that talent whatsoever. Instead, I get a crappy pail from Dollar Tree and make sandcastles out of that, you know? Or, you know, you freehand it depending on what you're feeling. And so that was kind of the vibe I was going for, where you get like, you have this like one pail and you make the little crappy sandcastles, and instead of flags you have sticks. So yeah, that's what I was totally going for. That was the vibe I was going for. So it's kind of dilapidated, it's a little broken, you know, all that good stuff. But it's something that I really quite enjoyed. And you're probably sitting here thinking like, okay, well, what the heck? Why does this matter to me? Right? Okay, good for you. I'm thinking about going back to when we talked about copying, right? And this is when I did the Luigi's Mansion build. I'm pretty sure that was my last video. I don't know. I can't remember. I have bad memories. Anyways, but with copying, right? I think one of the greatest things you could do is receive inspiration from real life, especially with Minecraft. You know, looking at things in real life really is such a great advantage in Minecraft for you to use. How do I mean by that? What do you mean it's a great advantage for you to use? I don't really even know what that sentence means. Saying that out loud now, it doesn't make sense, but I'll try to make it make sense. Make it make sense, right? But in real life, right, there's a lot of things that we can look at and try to emulate. And so I think it's good for several different reasons. One, you get to try out different shapes in Minecraft, you know? Especially because I've mentioned this before, it's a block game, right? You got one shape and it's square. And so square, rectangle, some sort of variation of that, right? And so in real life, you go and you look and you got circles, you got triangles, trapezoids, rhombuses, you know, you got all these different shapes. And so when you're able to look at something in real life and then try to emulate it in Minecraft. It's awesome because then you're able to sit down and try to figure out different shapes, all that good stuff, you know? And so it's great for that. It helps you work on your shapes. 2, specifically kind of looking at this build, it helps you kind of get a feel for things. I know that's kind of a weird thing, right? It helps you get a feel for things. And so the feel that you're getting is like, okay, how would sand work? You know, how do I make a kind of cascading, kind of goes back to the shape thing as well, but you kind of get a feel of how the blocks work and how to make things feel right. I know it's kind of weird. It's like one of those things once it clicks, right? The feel of things, the vibe of things. And so those are our first 2 things that we're able to learn, right? We learn about shapes, we learn about vibes / feels, whatever generation you're in, to kind of, I don't know, describe that. And so one of the last things we learn about using real life is structure. Now, that's kind of an interesting one, right? I'm not even sure if I can truly verbalize it, but we're going to try to verbalize it, my dudes. We're going to try, for you and for me, because my brain doesn't make a lot of sense. So anyways, but with structure, right? Everything has a certain way that's made. And if you want to get like a good build, if you kind of emulate how something is made in real life, 1, it's going to look a little more realistic, but 2, it's going to have the right feel. Again, boom, right back to point number 2, feel. Bada bada bing bada boom, right? I'm good. I know what I'm doing. And so anyways, with that structure, when you're learning about structures, so in this case, right, I'm looking at the sandcastle. It has a certain structure. When I build those pails, right, it's big, it's blocky, it's falling apart. And so that's going to kind of inform my build, right? Because it's big, it's blocky, it's falling apart, all that good stuff. But let's look at a house, right? You're going to have rafters, you're going to have support beams, you're going to have flooring, right? Ceilings, right? And so it's going to give you essentially a blueprint for you to work with, and also kind of give you those little details to make the build even better, right? So if you're building like a big warehouse, let's say, I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my head, but warehouse. You got this big warehouse. Looking up at the ceiling in real life, right? There's going to be rafters, there's going to be air ducts, there's going to be lights, there's going to be all these different things. And so then you're like, okay, I want to build this really big warehouse thing in Minecraft. You can sit down and be like, I'm not really sure what to fill it with, but you could sit down and be like, okay, let me think of a warehouse in real life. What's the structure of that? Well, it's big, it's a rectangle. Okay, so I got a big rectangle. What else is there? Oh, they got support beams going across the ceiling. Okay, so I'm going to put some of those in. Oh, and there's like air ducts going around, and plus all these big lights. And now you have a building that looks a lot more realistic and a lot more like just better in general. And plus it feels better. Boom, going back to that point number 2. It feels good, my dudes. It feels right. And so looking at the sandcastle build, right? I looked at the structure of building a sandcastle. It's falling apart. It's messy. It's, there's stuff everywhere. It's not symmetrical. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. And that's kind of what informed this build, is that you have just this messiness of it. And so, yes, that's the end of my saying. I don't really know what else to say. My comments are kind of gone. But let's go back to those 3 points. 1, right? Shape. Learning from real life, you get shapes. Number 2, you get to learn feels / vibes, however you want to describe it. And number 3, you're able to kind of learn about structures and things like that. And so that's why I like using things from real life or other creative things, right? Because you're able to learn a lot without putting a lot of effort in for yourself, and it saves you a good amount of brain power. And I have no other comments, so I'm gonna end my comments here. The end. So yeah, here's the little sandcastle. I think it turned out good. I think it's like a sandcastle. It's like a sandcastle. That's what I'm gonna say about it. It's like a sandcastle. Of course, you have to have a moat. Like, of course, you know, if you're going to the beach, you gotta make a moat around your sandcastle. I've only been to the beach a handful of times. I do not live near a beach. Anyways, that was a struggle. I apologize. But yeah, here it is. All the good stuff. Okay. The end.